So God can't blow your mind if you don't let him. And what I mean by that is like if you don't ask him for good orderly direction, if you don't pause and pray and trust that he's like going to help you take the best next right step, you're going to miss out on a lot. One of the ways that I have just experienced so much more ease in my life is by like letting God have the steering wheel. And an example of this is I was just doing a podcast with one of like the best guests I've ever had on. We've been so blessed this season to just have the most incredible people, and I can't wait to share those episodes with y'all in the next couple of weeks. But this guy was sharing and talking about good orderly direction. He was talking about what it looks like when you try to build a life and then ask God to bless it, and you try to control things, and you try to like grip the steering wheel really tightly and take things in a direction that God's like, that's not where you're supposed to end up. And he was talking about what it looks like when you just surrender, when you let go, when you allow God to take the wheel. I mean, there's the Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel, and we're always joking about that, but like that's true. When you let the Holy Spirit drive, when you let Jesus's word guide you, when you respect and trust and obey God enough that when he gives you a direction, either if it's like a general direction of, hey, this is where you're going to journey toward, or he gives you like a single step, you don't start asking him for like 17 more steps. You don't decide his step isn't good enough. You don't question. You just make sure that it was God and you go. Or if you ask for good orderly direction and you don't hear anything, you wait until you do, or you keep doing what he already told you to do before you asked again. Because sometimes you ask twice because you just want to be sure. And he's like, I already told you, so I'm not going to tell you again. So I say all this because I paused and prayed this morning before getting on that podcast, and because I was exhausted and I wasn't feeling good. And I was like, God, what do you want me to do? And he was like, get on that podcast and have fun. And it was one of the most fun podcasts I've ever recorded. So my invitation to you is to like stop, pause, pray with me right here. Ask God for some good orderly direction. Like, God, is there anything that you want me to do about this? What is my next best step? And just see what he says. But just sit here in silence for a second and just listen. And if he answered you, go do it. And if he didn't, be on the lookout for an answer, but don't decide to re-grip the steering wheel and move yourself until you have heard accordingly.